Dinosaur Island, a game where you are trying to build the biggest and most impressive dinosaur theme park. You'll collect Dino DNA and research new dinosaurs, purchase new buildings, parks, and hire specialists, then assign workers to upgrade your attractions, dinosaur paddocks, gather income, and create dinosaurs. But beware, don't forget to raise your security or the dinosaurs will escape and wreak havoc on your park. Dinosaur Island from Pandasaurus Games.
Hi, I'm Diana.
And I'm Sean, and we are TLDR Game Series Quick Looks. Today we're going to be taking a look at Dinosaur Island by Jonathan Gilmour and Brian Lewis, and published by Pandasaurus Games.
Dinosaur Island is a 1 to 4 player dice rolling, set collecting, tile and worker placement game that's played over a various number of rounds until one objective is left unclaimed. At the end of the game, players will add up their victory points on their boards and by claimed objectives, and the player with the most points emerges victorious as the creator of the best dinosaur theme park.
And each round is played over 4 phases. There's the research phase, the market phase, the worker phase, and the park phase. And each one of these phases has their own individual board. In phase 1, players will collect DNA and research new dinosaurs. In phase 2, players can buy new buildings, upgrade their labs, and hire specialists. In phase 3, players will use workers to take actions on their individual player boards. And finally, in phase 4, visitors will come to your park and hopefully not get eaten by an escaped T-Rex.
So what did you like about the game?
I really like the player boards. The first time I saw the game set up, it was a little overwhelming seeing all the boards on the table, but it didn't take long before I learned to love how everything is separated out. Each phase kind of feels like its own little mini game that comes together to form one larger game, and the design really helps the streamlining of the game and makes it super easy for new players to follow along.
For me, it was the variability of setup. At the beginning of each game, players choose how long they want to play by choosing one of 3 stacks, short, medium, or long. And then you choose from the stack what the objectives will be for that game. Finally, you choose 2 plot twists that will tweak the rules of the game. This adds a tremendous amount of replayability, which I wish was added into more games.
Something else I really like about the game is the variable turn order. During the first round of the game, play just proceeds clockwise. But after that, the turn order resets, so that the player with the fewest amount of victory points will go first, and the player with the most victory points will go last. This acts as a balancing act to prevent a runaway leader, specifically during the park phase whenever you're drawing visitors from the bag. Now, barring any bad luck, which is always a possibility, the player who draws last is going to have the greatest chance of drawing a hooligan, and they don't earn income and they take up a valuable spot in your park.
While variable turn order is nice, a bigger pro for me in this game is a solitary action point allowance mechanism. In most standard worker placement games, you have to wait on everybody to take their actions before you get your next turn. In Dinosaur Island, everybody places their workers at the same time, which increases the pace of the game at the end of each round. One final pro I want to add is the unique theme of this game. Growing up, personally, I wasn't a fan of anything dinosaur, but Sean was. Well, is. So it's a really fun, family-friendly game that kind of brings out the little child in you, especially in Sean's case.
Hey baby, I made you some lunch.
Oh, thanks. Really?
Yeah. Dun 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 dun, Jurassic Park the game. Oh wait, no, it's Dinosaur Island. Hey, I'm just trying to prepare you for motherhood.
You've already given me a few years to practice for that.
Nice. So anyway, what do you not like about this game?
I really had a problem with the market phase. In this phase, players have the option to purchase buildings, lab upgrades, DNA, or specialists, but they're only limited to 2. I think that players may miss out on a lot of opportunity due to this limit. And although it would increase the length of the phase, I think that letting players buy as much as they want or can afford could improve the market.
The variability does add for a great amount of replayability in the game, but at the same time it can lend itself to making the game too simple to end. There have been a few times where the randomly drawn objectives have been just too easy to complete, and we even played a medium-length game that only lasted 4 rounds. I kind of wish the designers had added a little bit more complexity to some of these objectives so that each game felt complete.
Another pro that could potentially be a con in this game is that action point allowance system I talked about earlier. This game heavily relies on the honor system and that everybody's going to play fair. Unfortunately, this mechanism opens up opportunities for players who take advantage of systems like this, and it could lead to some table flipping.
My biggest issue with the game is the lack of uniqueness in the dinosaurs. Yes, they have different DNA sequences, but other than the threat and the excitement they generate, there's nothing different about them. I kind of wish each of the dinosaurs had a unique effect if they escaped. But there should be a difference between what an Ankylosaurus does and what a T-Rex does.
Agreed. Well, let's go ahead and rate.
Okay.
Would you recommend Dinosaur Island?
I very highly recommend Dinosaur Island.
Me too. Would you play it again?
I would absolutely play it again.
Yeah, let's go right now. Would you buy Dinosaur Island?
I would. I would buy it and I will back it and get the expansions.
All right, sounds good. I would too. Well, thank you for joining us here at TLDR Game Series Quick Looks. Be sure to check out our other videos and our podcast. Until next time, see you later.
Bye-bye.